All right, today we're going to learn about the arc length of a circle, right? So our notes say the distance what goes here in this empty space. The distance between 2 points along the section of a circle. Right? Circle. So what we're going to find out is how long is from this point, and then I travel all the way around here to that point. So this looks like a pizza slice, so I want to know how long the crust is from that point all the way to that point. So we need two key pieces of information. What we need is something called the radius, the R. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the side of the circle. That's the radius of a circle. And we're going to highlight that in purple because this is important. The second thing we need is the theta. Theta is a Greek letter, right? Theta. Theta represents the degrees. How many degrees is the angle? How big is the pizza slice? So we're going to do that in blue here. So we're going to use AL for arc length. So I'm going to show you that AL is equal to 2 times theta times R times pi. Pi is a number we're going to use a lot in math. It's used a lot in math, right? Pi is when you divide the circumference of a circle, how big a circle is, how long it is from one point all the way around, divided by the diameter, the distance from one point going through the center to the other. We're going to use pi. Divide the whole thing is parentheses, because the whole thing divided by 360. Right? So our theta and our radius. So let's make life simpler for us. If I notice there's a 2 and there's a 360, well, I can divide both of those by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 360 divided by 2 is 180. So it looks like a more simple formula now. So the 1 I could just leave off because, 1 times anything is that thing. So 1 can be invisible. So what is left? What's left is parentheses, theta times the radius times pi, parentheses, and the whole thing divided by 180. So again, theta is in blue, and the radius is in R. So this is our key formula right here that we're going to use to solve all of these problems where we're looking for the arc length, right? The distance from one point to the other, pink. So let's use that this information to solve these examples here. So let's fill in our circle here. So the two things that we need are radius and theta. So my radius is in purple. The distance from the center to the side is in purple. So this is my radius. And the degree, the theta, the degree of the pizza slice, how big is the pizza slice here, is 105. So this is my theta, and this is my R. So my formula says AL is equal to parentheses theta times R times pi, parentheses, and the whole thing divided by 180. So my theta is in blue, my R is in purple. Here's my blue. Drop my blue here. All right? So let's just substitute now. So AL is equal to parentheses. What's my theta? Theta is 105 times my R is 12 times pi divided by 180. So you're going to use your calculator to calculate pi. Now, if you're using the calculator in Delta Math, the pi symbol, which is this one right here, is under the 3. So right under the 3, you see pi. So we're going to put in, including the parentheses. You have to include the parentheses. So parentheses 105 times 12 times pi, parentheses. You have to put both parentheses. And then this line means divided by, right? Divided by 180. And you get 21.99. 21.991 actually. Now I included the 1 because I'm going to round here to the nearest hundredth. So nearest hundredths, right? So the nearest hundredth is 2 numbers after the decimal. 9 here. So the neighbor to this 9 here is a 1. So this 1 is going to tell this 9 what to do. So since this 1 is less than 5, which is 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, it's going to tell this 9 to stay the same. So the answer is going to be 21.99. It's going to stay the same, just like that. Okay. Let's do the second example here. Okay. So what are the 2 things we need? We need theta and we need r, right? So r is the distance from the center to the side of the circle, which is 7. And theta is the degree of this pizza slice. This is like almost, obviously more than half of the pizza. So we're going to see how thick, how long this crust of the pizza is. So we know this is theta. Theta is in blue and r is in purple, right? So we're going to use our formula. AL is equal to parentheses pi times r times, theta times r times pi, excuse me, parentheses divided by 180. So my theta is in blue, my r is in purple. So I'm going to simply substitute, right? AL is equal to parentheses, my theta is 240 times my r is 7 times pi, and the whole thing divided by 180. So again, when you are entering this in your calculator, you must include the parentheses. Parentheses 240 times 7 times pi, parentheses, you have got to put in both, divided by, right? The line means divided by 180, and that gives you 29.321, right? That gives you 29.321. Now remember, we are rounding to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth is 2 spaces. Think of 2 zeros in 100, right? 2 spaces after the decimal, which is the 2. What is the 1 going to tell the 2 to do, right? Since it's less than 5, it's going to tell the 2 to stay the same. So it's going to be 29.32. It's going to stay a 2. All right. So let's do a couple of examples here on that are from Delta Math. So Let's look at this first one here. It says encircle T. T is in the middle. Measure angle STU, T is in the middle, is 98 degrees. So this is my 98 degrees. I know that's my theta. That's going to be my blue because that's my degrees. And it says from S to T is going to be 16. Well, this is going to be my radius, right? So this is my R, and this is my theta. Find the length of the arc from S to U. So how much is it from S all the way to U? How long is this pizza crust, right? So we're going to use our formula. Let's use our formula. AL is equal to parentheses theta times R times pi. Theta times R times pi. Don't forget to close parentheses. The whole thing divided by 180, right? Well, my theta is in blue. My R is in purple. So now all I'm going to do is simply substitute, right? AL is equal to parentheses theta. What's my theta? 98 times R, 16, times pi, all over 180. Okay? Now use your Delta Math calculator, which is on the top right of the screen, right? Is your Delta Math calculator. And you're going to enter this exactly the way you see it. Parentheses first, 98 times 16 times pi. Remember, pi is right under the 3. It's pi. Pi, and then parentheses. You can't forget that, parentheses. This line means divided by 180. And you get 27.366. So AL is equal to 27.366. This here says round to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth, remember how many zeros does hundred have? 2, right? Hundredths is 2 numbers after the decimal, which is 3, 6. The neighbor to the right is going to tell this 6 what to do. So since this 6 is bigger than 5, it's 5 or bigger, it's going to tell the 6 to go up. So this is going to become 27.3, going to go up to 7. Look at that. That's your solution. Okay, let's do one more example here. Let's see what we got. Okay, second example says encircle D, right? D is in the center. CDE. CDE is 60. So this is 60 right here. I know that's my theta, so I'm going to do this in blue. Okay, and CD from C to D is 4 units. And that's my radius. So I'm going to do this in purple. Find the arc length of CE. How big is this crust? How long is this crust from C to E of this pizza slice? So I know this is my theta, and I know this is my R here. So once again, let's use our formula right here, this one. AL, right? Arc length, AL, is equal to parentheses. Always start with a parentheses. Theta times R times pi. If you forget, always look back on your notes, right? It's on Schoology. You can press on View Notes to look at your formula. Always end with a parentheses, and the whole thing divided by 180. Well, my theta I know is in blue, and my radius I know is in purple. So let's substitute. AL is equal to parentheses, always parentheses, theta is 60. R, radius is 4 times pi, parentheses, always close it up, divided by 180. So use your Delta Math calculator that you see there on the top right of the screen. Always start with parentheses. Parentheses 60 times 4 times pi, right? Pi is under the 3, parentheses, divided by, right? This line means divided by 180, and you get 4.188. So AL is equal to 4.188. So we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth has 2 zeros, so 2 numbers have the decimal, the 1 and the 8. Well, this neighbor guy here is going to tell the 8 what to do. So since this 8 is bigger, this 5 or bigger, it's going to tell this 8 to go up to a 9. So this is going to equal 4.19. And that's going to be your solution right there. Okay? So remember, rewind if you have to. You had to have done these problems with me, right? Always, always do the problems with me in the videos, okay? Use your calculator. Do not forget to put parentheses in the front, parentheses in the back before you divide. Because if you don't, it's going to come up with the wrong answer. It's going to come up with the wrong answer. You always have to put parentheses in the beginning, parentheses at the end, and then divide by 180. Okay? Your key points are theta and R. Theta and R are the 2 key pieces of information that you need. Okay?